Well, thank you so much for keeping it here on Morning at 10 TV. Stephen Ibidon Pepe Switch Uga now coming to you live from the Ministry of Health headquarters. And we know that the battle against COVID-19 is still alive, and more efforts are still being done by government, especially the Ministry of Health and its partners, to ensure that yes, the economy fully recovers. I'm here just to understand how much is still being done or has to be done to make sure that yes, full life comes back to you and to everyone who would like to see Uganda that we are moving on with. This morning I'm speaking to Dr. Dana Twine, Permanent Secretary, the Chief Planner of the Ministry of Health, and to let us know about the updates and what else they are doing. Good morning to you, Doctor.
Good morning, Stephen. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, listeners.
Thank you so much, and all the viewers for, of course, welcoming us in your beautiful office here. First, bring us to speed. What's the status now in matters of vaccination, matters of cases? How are we faring as Uganda? Because we know, yes, you're doing something to ensure that we fight COVID-19.
At the moment, we are at the foot of the second wave. The numbers have significantly gone down. I think the last 3 days we registered about 63. I haven't looked at the days like yesterday. I haven't looked at the statistics, but largely the numbers are coming down. But we still have some hotspots in some districts, especially in Teso, Soroti, Kumi, Serere, Katakwi, Ngora. Those are hotspots, Oyam, and also some districts in West Nile. But we thank God that the number is not escalating. The number is coming down even when we have those hotspots. But that should not be an end to it, because as we know, this infection keeps on coming in waves. While other countries they are in end of fourth wave, first we're in second wave, but we shouldn't relax, because anytime, even if it is just one case, it can again be the origin of infection, and then we can get very many cases. So we shouldn't relax. We continue observing the SOPs that we put in place, because they are proven to be effective. And so we do believe that if we maintain that, we'll be able to maintain the number of cases low and will save lives. The other thing we said, what are we doing to make sure that we open up? As you all know, we started the vaccination in March. We haven't covered the priority group, the 44.8 million. But we have given them enough time. At first, we didn't want really to open up to everyone, because we wanted to target the group that was most at high risk. But I think now, as we continue getting more vaccines in the country, we are now planning to open up, because we cannot wait forever to get everyone in this group to come on board. So far we have vaccinated over 2 million the first dose. The second dose is slightly lower than 1 million. But we want to see that as we roll out to even for everyone, but also we complete the other 4.8 million people at risk. So that's what we want to do, because we know that no matter what we do, COVID is here to stay. But the best now is to learn to accommodate and be accommodative and see how to adjust our lifestyle. But the most important thing, the big trigger for us to open up and live a normal life, even when we have COVID, the only thing that will help us is when we get vaccinated. Like other countries, the other economies have opened up. So here we call upon people to embrace vaccination. It's the only thing now we know scientifically that once we get protected, even if you get infection, you are not worried that you'll end up in ICU. And that can only happen when we are fully vaccinated, so that we give ourselves time for the body to work. So that in case, even if we got a third wave, if we are vaccinated, we'll get infection and people will just get flu and it passes and then that will be it. Maybe. But if we are not, then we are likely to get into another serious bad wave.
When you talk about cases coming up in Yam, in Ngora, Soroti, Lira, what explains this? Because we don't see Kampala, Mukono, Wakiso, and then those eastern districts. What explains this pattern that we are not seeing more cases coming from the rest of the country?
No, it depends on you see, when certain community is relaxed and there is one case, just one case, and you know that some of those are on the route of travelers, people from Kenya, from South Sudan, they are on, and the pattern is along those routes. So it's possible that even if some people come with the negative, that's why we are insisting that we must test everyone coming in the country, because we are seeing still many people coming with negative results. When we test them in the country, they are positive. So that can explain some of the routes why we get those hotspots. But also, just the lifestyle of our community. I think I saw in TV was in Soroti, and they were in the market, and they were showing how people are just very, very casual. With no mask, they are in the market, they are drinking together the other marwa. So all those things are big drivers of this infection. So if a certain community has not taken these measures very seriously, all that community will be affected.
Talking about the efforts that you are doing, like doing mass vaccination, running more people to come and get vaccinated. You as the ministry, what is your biggest challenge at hand that you're dealing with in ensuring that, yes, we battle this disease, but also other services that you do as the Minister of Health?
It is negative propaganda, anti-vax campaign. And I was shocked that even when I went to Toroko there we were launching cholera vaccine, I met these old women, just simple women in the village there. They said no. They said, well, once we get vaccinated with COVID vaccine, within 3 years, you remember that thing that was moving on WhatsApp? A woman who does not even have smartphone knew about that. So that campaign, that negative campaign is a big problem. And we just continue talking, but I want to tell you that it is a big challenge for us. And that is the reason why we have not even scaled up to the number that we want, because
that is on social media.
Yes, the things they watch on even on our media. In our media, what do we portray out there sometimes also keep people out. But we want to encourage people. We want to assure people that the vaccines are safe, they are effective, and all vaccines are effective.
There was a time that I think 2 weeks ago when you as the minister came out and told the nation that some vaccines are about to expire. That was September 30th. Were you able to give the vaccinate all the people before the expiry date?
Yes, we did that, and the good news is that we have not had any single vaccine expire on us. All the vaccines that were pending in the districts were when we made that call, when the president also added his voice, the districts were able to go and mop up those few vaccines that were remaining in different places, and we completed. So we didn't lose any vaccine.
You as the ministry, this sector is set for a biannual meeting just to review what the journey you made, the progress, the challenges at hand. How do you look back now, considering that this time we've gone through a time of second wave? How do you look back at the services, the delivery services, but also the the service this nation, how has it been affected, or which improvement have you made?
Yes, we had challenges. We had hardships. It has been quite a tough journey for the sector to deal with COVID and at the same time maintain the integrity of the other services. Together it has been very, very tough. But I must say that by God's grace, because I cannot say that it was something else, I think it's just God's grace, we saw that our health indices are better. Our health indices, even in the midst of this COVID, our health indices are better. We are looking at the statistics of maternal mortality. Maternal mortality has dropped. Infant mortality has dropped. Malaria has gone down. TB cases, before we were not finding many cases. We have been able to scale up and move and get more cases and getting treated. We are getting treatment success rates. PMTCT continue to get better. Our targets we set for HIV for 1990, we are above. So we are really getting, it is, for me I can say it's just God's grace, because really we are in the midst of so much, so much. And I really, for me, I just always thank God for our health workers, and I want to appreciate them. I want to appreciate the districts out there, the DHOs that have been doing great work. They have been doing so much at the same time. Vaccination, then campaign, then we have other programs. Now we are going to start polio campaign. Then all these things are happening at the same time. But we have been able to multitask and make sure that the services are provided, they are not interrupted, and actually we have proved that it is possible, even when all this is happening, to continue serving equally the other cases.
The other day I saw the nurses through their union saying that those who are offering the vaccination services, they are helping to roll out the vaccination. They are clamoring for allowances. The allowances they give them, they are being taxed 30%, and this is not organized. This is making them uncomfortable, because they are saying some of them cannot even afford lunch.
For lunch?
Yeah.
For lunch allowance? I think that one we have to discuss with the authorities that are taxing, if it is the case. They have to help us understand the rationale, and because
maybe finally,
if it is in the law, it might not change just like that.
Okay. Maybe finally, when trying to scale up the services, you have now government, of course, through the president, a directive to give the construction services to UPDF engineering department. How are you looking at this? You've been giving out these contracts to different companies. Now you're going to be subtracting to UPDF to carry on these construction services.
For me, it is so exciting. It is very, very exciting for me, because we had challenges in some of these contract management processes of procuring, the delays, the inflated cost, all those things are going to be normal once our UPDF takes over. But also to build capacity internally, because if you realize that most of these big companies that we have been giving work were foreign companies, and that has an implication on our money, because we want also the money to be retained in the country. We want to support, build capacity internally. We want to improve efficiency. We want to do things quickly. That way, if we use this channel the president has directed us, I'm very optimistic that we are going to even to do more, because these people are not profit making. They will get this money and do the work, and therefore we are likely even to do more.
Okay.
We are cutting out all these bureaucracies of lengthy procurements. We are also, it's going to help us also to retain the resources in the country.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dana Trinity, Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Health. Next time I'm here, I'll be asking her how she keeps good, looking nice, after all the social media banter that was facing her. Of course, the protests that were against her, but she has kept so strong and keeps the ministry moving. Stephen Imbido Pepeswe Chibuga would like to say thank you so much for being a part of Morning at NTV. Now handing you back to Romeo Busiku, who is there in the studios.
That is